Ocean City, Kansas. 10 members.
Okay, Commissioner asked if you could bring up your
Come on,
new
Jay.
class.
There. What?
How big's the class?
It's going to be 10 young men.
Okay, so
Introduce
who do
yourself.
we have here today?
Hello, my name is Ethan Lilly.
How old are you, Ethan?
I'm 9. I was born in Junction City.
Okay, grew up here all your life so far?
Yeah,
Okay, so will you be attending this program?
yeah,
Are you pretty excited?
yeah.
Okay, cool. What are you looking forward to?
I don't know.
Keeping busy, staying out of trouble?
No.
No, me neither. Okay, who else do we have here today?
My name is Jaden. I'm 12.
Nice to
I was
meet you.
born, I think, in Michigan,
Okay,
right?
Yes, you were.
okay, very cool.
I'm not
And you-
looking forward to anything really.
Okay, open-minded? Love that. Excellent. Thank you, Jaden.
I'm Darius Prince. I was born in Louisiana, and I'm glad that this group is out right now because I'm looking forward to seeing it help people so they can be better to themselves, but also other people in their future and as they are adults.
Can we get a round of applause for that, y'all? Amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Do we have any other questions today, folks?
I just want to say this is inspiring. Thank you for doing it.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. I look forward to your event.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for your time again.
All righty. We'll move forward to Opera House 2027 budget request.
Well, may I approach and give you something? I'm sorry, I'll get you one tomorrow. Kim can share with you. Good evening. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to present to you today. I'm Ellie Dillon, Executive Director of Junction City Opera House Incorporated. We're a 501c3 entity which manages the C.L. Hoover Opera House for the city of Junction City. In your packet, there's a lot of information, but one of the things is our Opera House budget for the fiscal year 26-27. With many organizations needing to increase their budget, we have decided to slightly decrease it, both overall on our income and our expenses. We know our local community is impacted by Fort Riley and their transitions, and along with the general cost of living and rising. So our parameters have been put in place to do our due diligence and be good stewards of our finances. For fiscal year 25-26, it was our goal to increase private rentals, increase business sponsorships, along with increasing ticket sales and concessions. We had a great year building our programs and presented a multi-ethnic, multi-generational shows for all to enjoy. I'm happy to report our facility rental was increased by 10% by private rentals last year. Our program income, our ticket sales increased 4%. Last year, along with our sponsors increasing 4%, and our concessions stayed about the same, so people didn't drink and eat as much, I guess. For the fiscal year coming up, our staff is top-notch. We employ one full-time person, that's me, 4 part-time regular employees, and then 4 Theater Arts Academy staff. Our staff is good about keeping their hours to a minimum. And our contract work has been kept to a minimum this year as well to reduce the additional costs for technical help. Our Education Academy expenses will be streamlined a little differently this year and reduced slightly. Our utilities are expensive. We are hoping to put some measures in place, building-wide, to help with our electric and gas bills. They're just quite huge. Some budget expenses were allocated a little differently this year. We found a need for support in more areas versus operational areas. Examples would be our IT support, cost of shows, and our utilities, just to name a few. This year, we are not asking for an increase for support from the city. We know and appreciate the value of your support and your contributions, and we will work diligently to utilize those funds appropriately. And now, if I might just take a minute to highlight some of the great things happening at the Opera House. 2.2% of Kansas economy is driven by the arts and creative industry. We estimated that nearly 16,000 people walked through the doors of the Opera House this past year. While the majority of our patrons reside in Geary County, we are confident that we draw from surrounding communities and in turn have an economic impact and draw for Junction City and Geary County. Every time someone comes into our community, they buy gas, they visit a convenience store, they eat at a restaurant or a fast food, so they are driving economic impact. This coming season, we're excited to announce, last year there was an initiative to proclaim the 100 block of West 7th as the Arts District, so we're going to focus on that. So our theme for this year is Live on 7th, where the arts take the stage, and we will have something for everyone. There will be music, dancing, painting, storytelling, magic, comedy, plus a whole lot more. We will be partnering with J.C. Main Street for several events, as well as the Dorothy Bramlage Public Library on a really great event for our community with the Nutcracker Experience out of Ballet Midwest in Topeka. One new thing we will implement is the opportunity for our season ticket holders to have season ticket options for our patrons. We're excited about offering that opportunity, just another way to support the arts in our community. Also, a variety of ways that we directly support Junction City, Geary County, and all the surrounding communities. The Opera House itself produces 6 main stage shows. Most of them are in our main stage, but some are in our lobby series as well. Those are add-ons. We offer a theater arts education academy for students age K through 8. We are a multi-use facility, weddings, class reunions, babies, wedding showers, company events, among many, many others. We host joint city, county, and USD 475 commission meetings. Junction City PD offers training, incident debriefings, and meetings. Junction City Fire Department this year hosted trainings, testings, and meetings. Geary County Emergency Management hosts meetings and trainings. Geary County Sheriff's Office also hosted a lot of trainings this year and meetings. Supporting Junction City Main Street events, CVB, Chamber, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, Martin Luther King Jr. events, and we are offering support for Freedom Fest and Juneteenth this year, and we're excited to be able to be doing that. A lot of people don't understand the dynamics of what's happening in the Opera House, but we do share space with 3 interior agencies, Junction City Little Theater, which produces 4 main stage shows each year. They alone had about 3,800 people come through the Opera House for their shows. They offer a K through 12 summer education, summer stage, and they have about 125 youth in our halls these next few weeks. So they're a vibrant part of the Opera House, and if they do well, we do well. So we're in this together. Junction City Arts Council, last year it was our goal to make sure that they brought back their art classes into the Opera House, and they have done that. They have had roughly 168 adults and students take their art classes, and as well as expanding, offering art seminars, artist receptions, and participating in downtown events. Junction City Community Band offers free band concerts every Sunday in June. They just had their first one last Sunday, had about 170 people in attendance. This is all volunteer for the musicians that come in. I do believe they're paid a small stipend, but that comes out of Junction City Community Band. But they're all local musicians, whether it be students, local community members, First ID Band, retired military. and they are just a great asset to have in the community and in the Opera House. Serving as a director a little over a year now, I've seen nationwide that city and county support for community venues is vital to keeping the quality of life moving forward and the doors open. It is my job to be a good steward for those contributions and support while continuing to move forward with preservation, quality performances, and a place for all, with capital ALL, feel welcome. We are committed to supporting the arts, building community, and making an impact. So on behalf of our board of directors and our team at the Opera House, I want to extend my sincere appreciation for the continued support from Junction City. And quite simply, we could not do what we do on an average daily. Thank you again for your time this evening. Additionally, in your packet, there are new marketing information. We'll show our commitment to continue with our sponsorships to help offset our costs. Also included is rental information, upcoming shows, and information from our interior agencies. Would welcome any questions you might have.
So you asked, was it 170,000 last year?
179,
Okay, and that's what you're asking for again?
yes, no increases.
And in addition, the city commission last year gave 150,000 to pay off the note for the education wing, correct?
That is correct.
And for those of you that don't know, the C.L. Hoover Opera House is named C.L. Hoover, who was a lawyer in this town, in a law firm called Hoover, Schermerhorn, Edwards, Panner, and Rombold. And Mr. Hoover and his wife Martha set up a foundation. They had no children, and they that foundation contributed $500,000 for the naming opportunity for the C.L. Hoover Opera House. And there's a proclamation that was passed by a city commission, I think in 2008. And that naming event, that's why his captive audience here the opportunity to talk about where this.
And he kind of stuck me with this, so just bear with me, okay? We have proven growth and regional draw. The 2026 festival welcomed over 5,000 people, give or take, that attended this, making it one of the largest community gatherings in the area. The momentum continues to build, and we anticipate attendings will nearly double in 2027. We have already received confirmation of visitors traveling from Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas City. And then today we also got some are coming from St. Louis and Colorado. So along with strong participation from surrounding Kansas communities, the regional growth positions Junction City as a destination of cultural tourism and community engagement. Impact of our youth, families, and community, the Junction City Juneteenth Festival is more than a celebration. It is an investment in our people. Our youth are inspiring through cultural, music, and positive representation. Families experience a safe, inclusive space to connect and celebrate. Our community pride is strengthened through shared community and unity. Our economic business benefits. With increased attendance comes increased opportunity. Local vendors, restaurants, small businesses benefits from higher and foot traffic visibility, generating meaningful economic impact for Junction City. Our tourism of visibility through entertainment, high quality, well-known performers are our key drive of the festival. Success in 227, we requested $10,000 for entertainment, while actually cost reached $11,000, demonstrating both demand and value. Bringing a high-profile talent not only draws crowds, but also elevates Junction City's visibility. Performance actively promotes their experience on social media, helping put Junction City on the map as a place to visit. The exposure continues to attract visitors and even encourage performers themselves to run as tourists. You know, they have blown up our emails, our phones, and everything, asking if they could come to our next event. To maintain this growth and secure the top-tier talent, we're requesting the $15,000 for entertainment in 2027. This investment will sustain high-quality performers, increase attendance and tourism, amplify economic impact, strengthen Junction City's regional reputation. The closing, the Junction City June Festival continues to grow and powerful drive in community connection, economic activities, and cultural pride. With your support, we can build on this success and ensure Junction City remains a vibrant destination of residents and visitors alike. Thank you for your consideration and continued commitment to our community. Do you guys have any questions? I know that was kind of fast, but
I have a couple questions.
Yes.
Number one, are y'all gonna be doing line dancing again?
yes, we will.
Cool.
You just request your song and we'll play it.
I'll bring a list. Number two, I do see that we have this increased cost, citing that, I believe it was one of the first things that the new commission approved this year was the $10,000 disbursement. I had seen one of y'all's flyers on social media where you have a bunch of sponsors. What does sponsorship look like for this event? Is that in kind?
Usually we do have a
monetary?
lot more sponsors. They are sponsoring us. They're just not as much as usual. So they've kind of gone down on their sponsorships. So that's why we are increasing, because we want to guarantee that we can get those, that entertainment.
Okay. Do y'all do any other pursuits of like fundraising in anticipation of this event?
We haven't did fundraising, but we are talking about it in the upcoming years. Our committee isn't very big, but as we're growing, we have been asked people to come be on our committee so we can go out and build on different events.
Okay, cool.
Does the county contribute to this?
The county does.
How much do they contribute?
They give us $750 in May, and then they give us another $750 in July.
And how about, do you go to the Convention of Visitors Bureau?
We did go to the CVB. We had a meeting with the prior director, and we kept waiting and calling to see if she ever called us back, and she never did. So finally, I went in, and Brule also went in, and they told us that she wasn't there anymore. So all our emails and phone calls or whatever never got anywhere. And then when we did finally go in there, they gave us an application to complete, and we have completed that, but we haven't heard anything back yet.
Do you know when they meet next?
We don't know.
Can you try to pursue that a little more
Yeah, we will.
with your 5,000 number? How did you come up with that estimate?
We just, with all of our, I'm not sure how Brule came up with that, but just with the people that were coming and going, we know that we did hit that number close to 3,500 to 5,000. And we did have a lot of people come and go and coming back, and then just the talk on social media.
Have you accessed the AI Placer available through Junction City to get some data, some statistics, and maybe even find out about some overnight stays? Or if not, could we help you with that in some capacity?
We have contacted the hotels to ask for some blocked rooms. So they have gave us small discounts on the people that are coming into the community. And if they use the Junction City Juneteenth Festival, then they will get a discount on their room.
So I wonder, would it be Katie that they speak to about getting that? Do you know the AI Placer? Do you know that? So the city has a budget, they pay yearly for it, a significant amount, and you can gather data, I think, based on phones or charge cards or something. But and then when you present, you can have data on the impact, positive or negative, in the community. So just a little bit of information.
I'm a big fan of what y'all do. I look forward to attending this year. Definitely looking forward to the city supporting this. Just want to make sure that, as you anticipate growing and expanding and it becomes a big, beautiful thing, that we approach accordingly. I do believe the city has also facilitated like trash services and stuff. Are they supporting you adequately in that manner?
Yeah, they are.
Okay. Excellent. Love that.
Okay.
I'm happy to support, but a 5,000 jump, that's a big one. I mean, that's a lot in 1 year. With Freedom Fest, it's typically 4 or 5 days long, 50,000, so 10,000 or so a day. So, got a little bit of heartburn there. I think we're gonna have to look at some kind of fundraising to go along with that as well. Looking for other sponsorships. You're still on vendor sites as well there, so there are other monies coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the CVB ought to contribute.
Totally agree.
And for many, once again, with this captive audience, this was an original presidential declaration. You know, we talk about these things that the president signs. Just think about the implication of what President Lincoln signed. No congressional action at all. He freed the people that were targeted by this. Executive order,
And then they didn't hear about it for a couple years later.
4 to 5 years in Texas is when they finally heard about what President Lincoln had done.
So keep us close to heart on this one.
We will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. The next item is ATA, a bus budget request for 2027. Hi.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Thank you very much for the opportunity to visit with you this evening. You have in your packet some information that goes above and beyond what I'm going to present tonight, but if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to ask. Okay. So just want to share a little bit of brief background for those of you that may not be aware. This actually 2026 marks 50 years that Out-A-Bus has been in business. Thank you. For me personally, this is my 25th anniversary with the company, so thank you. But even back in 1976, there were a group of seniors who recognized the need for public transportation, and we have built on that spirit ever since. We have been operating services in Junction City and Geary County now for 14 of those years. We offer fixed route services within Junction City and Grandview Plaza, and then we have curb-to-curb and regional services throughout the county, along with our K18 Connect, which I'll talk to you about in a minute, a little bit. We are part of your essential infrastructure. Not only are the people who ride the bus creating economic development in the community, but our little company is providing workforce access. We are an economic driver in the community with the money that we bring to the table, and that is paid to our employees and the goods and services that we purchase in this community as well. Go to the next one, please. So we're really excited because this year we have seen for the first time in 3 years increases in ridership. It has increased by 26%. Here in Junction City, our fixed routes have increased by 16%, and our demand response by 2%. And we attribute a lot of that to our increased staffing. We have finally, we think, broken one of our biggest post-COVID challenges, namely being able to hire drivers. Last year, we made a significant increase in the starting wage by $2 an hour. And we've also developed a new CDL training program. So I'm going to do a shameless plug here. If you're looking for a great place to work and you don't have a CDL, come work at Out-A-Bus. We'll train you to get that CDL, and we start that CDL wage at $18.50 an hour.
I see that you noted an overall ridership increase of 26%. How much of that would you say is attributed from the K18 Connect that has been implemented?
I will get to that in just 1 second.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
If you could, go to the next slide.
Oh, man, great minds.
There you go. So in January of this year, we started an expansion of the K18 Connect, and ridership has increased by 113%. Last year, we did a transit study, and the number one thing that folks in Junction City, Geary County asked for us to deliver on was to expand that K18 connector to Junction City. Thanks to the Kansas Department of Transportation, who are funding 90% of the cost of this expansion for 2 years, We have implemented Walmart to Walmart. You can travel across the region from Walmart to Walmart for $1. So it is the same price that we charge for all of our fixed routes. It made no sense to create this expansion and have the cost of the fare be a barrier to people's access to it.
I see 2,593 boardings total. Is that since the start of this year, if I'm
Yes.
reading that correctly? So,
It says Q1, calendar year Q1.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
So many
we're
acronyms.
on the state fiscal year, so I'm always back and forth on that. but yes.
Understood.
So it's been extremely well received. We do have a number of partners that help with that, not just, so we have the Manhattan end, Manhattan and Riley County help fund that as well on this end, then as Geary County and the city. So we're ready for the next one, please. So just want to kind of go back a little bit to our transit study. We always like to know why people are riding the bus. What's the motivating factor? So 55% of our riders are going to work or to school, 30% are going for shopping or recreational purposes, and then 10% are going to medical and/or social service appointments. These are, the top box shows you the current top 5 stops on the fixed routes. The bottom box shows you FY25. So we've increased significantly on ridership from 25, but I wanted to give you the most recent stops in the fixed routes. Go ahead. You go ahead. Oh, sorry. So I just want to talk a little bit about some of our opportunities that we have that we would like to be able to pursue. We would like to start looking at our transit study recommendations and find ways to begin implementing those changes. We know that our headways in Geary County are poor. And we know since 2023 we had to cut services. We are ready and able to improve those headways and do a better job of providing services here. We also know that we need to make improvements in infrastructure. That includes bus stop improvements. That includes facilities. That's a much more challenging task, just because of the limitations that we have in resources to do that.
Can you tell me a little bit more about this infrastructure improvement regarding phase 1 of a bus stop improvement plan? Tell me more about that.
So we have worked basically to identify all the current locations throughout our service area of the bus stops. We have, keep a record, are they ADA accessible? The majority of our stops are not ADA accessible. So we're developing a plan to identify those stops that we want to make ADA accessible. We want to, based on popularity and ridership, put in benches and/or the occasional shelter. We've had opportunities in Manhattan with some federal funds that were available on the urban side of FTA to install some shelters that have been very well received, and we want to do that here. We have installed at Dillon's. It's called WaySign, and it is an electronic route designation sign, and it updates regularly, so it tells you when's the next bus going to be there. If you are visually impaired, it will speak to you as you pass in front of it. So it is ADA compliant. and we want to put more of those over here.
What does
We-
ADA compliance look like? Is it like wheelchair accessibility? Is it that visual auditory?
Yes, that's
Okay.
the bulk of it, is that it be, that their sidewalks are certain widths and dimensions, and curb cuts are certain widths and dimensions. If we make improvements, we want to have an ADA accessible pad, so that would mean if a bus pulls up and someone's utilizing a wheelchair, that they can safely board and alight the bus using that ADA pad.
Understood. I will verbalize for those unfamiliar, although Manhattan utilizes the ATA bus, they are a separate entity, which is why they receive monies differently from Junction City. It is also unfortunately why we've seen different kinds of developments, because they qualify differently for things. So I feel it is important to
Absolutely.
verbalize that point of discernment here.
It's, the sad thing is, the money that we have here flows through KDOT, and they put more restrictions on how we can spend money. The money in Manhattan comes directly from FTA, and we have a lot more flexibility in how that money's spent. We've spoken with KDOT about that, and we were talking this afternoon, staff, we're gonna go back to Topeka and talk to them again. And I'll speak to this shortly, but we're leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table every year.
What is the difference between Junction City and Manhattan? Why is funding different?
Because of the population, Manhattan is urbanized, and Junction City is considered still rural.
Yeah, we're just barely a first-class city by definition.
So it's two different pots of federal money. And if it's a little technical, but it's Section 5311 and Section 5307. Here in Junction City, it's Section 5311. And so KDOT controls those monies and puts more restrictions on how we can spend them. I literally cannot spend any federal or state money here on bus stop improvements. They don't allow us to use those monies to do that. In Manhattan, with 5307, I can do that. So for myself and others of us in the rural program, this is a bone of contention.
So the 5,123 boardings in 2025
For demand response.
are what?
That was just for demand response.
Just for demand response.
That's like calling an Uber or Lyft to come to you instead of
So
waiting
those
in a
are
designated stop.
predominantly going to be folks who have disabilities, who are over 60, and who are not able to use the fixed routes. We are required by federal law to provide an equivalent service to the fixed route. So it operates the same hours and days that the fixed routes do. Folks call in a day ahead of time, and they can schedule a trip, and we have a bus that will go get them and take them to where they want to go.
So what is your total for your boardings in Junction City for 2025?
I will have to get you that number. I can tell you overall our service, it was sadly, one of our lowest years of ridership, 2025. Our total number was just under $135,000, 135,000 rides. In this fiscal year, we're going to be closer back up to our FY24 number, which was just under 170,000.
So how many people do you think, and I don't know if you have numbers on this, that you're actually servicing?
You mean unduplicated individuals? We're not able to track that on the fixed routes. I can go back to staff and we can give you a guesstimate, if that would be helpful.
Yes, please.
Yeah. And not to, oh, go ahead,
My name
Daphne.
is Daphne. I'm the director.
Daphne, would you come up to the microphone, please? Thank you, madam.
Hi, I'm Daphne. I'm Director of Marketing Communications. I was texting our transportation planner. We were just under 20,000 rides in Junction City for those years.
For 2025,
Yeah.
20,000 rides?
Just under.
Just under.
Like unique rides or riders?
We don't have a way to track unduplicated riders per se. We just track our boardings.
So we had,
We can track the number of curb-to-curb riders.
Okay.
But I don't have a way to give you a precise, we can make an estimate for you.
20,000 unique trips happen.
Yes,
Understood.
but they may not be unique individuals.
I'll add my personal point of commentary here. My apologies, Anne, as the new board member of this organization, I will mirror and parrot much of what Aaron has spoke to. This has been kind of an uphill battle. You know, candidly, one of the reasons the bus has low usage is the bus only comes so many times a day. There are no shelters, so if it is raining or snowing or windy or hailing or whatever Kansas likes to do outside, many people are not willing to stand in those elements to utilize the bus, which unfortunately causes them to miss work, miss mental health appointments, miss medical appointments, which is why I'm very passionate about finding the opportunity to get us benches, get us shelters, which costs money, and it's hard to get money when people aren't using the service. It's a terrible, unfortunate cycle that we're trying to navigate so that way we can improve this bus system, get it to a better place. So I
So
share a
just
lot of that grief with you.
To build on that, 3 years ago, we had 1 hour headways. Now we have 2 hour headways.
Yeah. So if you miss your bus stop, it'll come in 2 hours, which
So the
is,
people that ride the bus are desperate for the service right now.
yeah.
And we're doing them a disservice by not improving our headways. And that was one of the key outcomes of the transit study, was that was a critical change that we had to make, was we had to get on top of the staffing, and we have to get on top of our local match requirements, which I'll talk about here in a moment.
Beautiful. Thank you, Ann.
On a positive note, we were awarded a bus to replace an existing older bus, and that bus has been delivered. So we will have that bus in service later this year. So that's a significant, because it's replacing a 10-year-old vehicle. So that's a good thing. One of the most exciting things that we're getting ready to implement is modernizing our technology. It's been 10 years since we've done that, and we will have a new product called Spare, and that will also improve the access of the public to our services by having an app, and it will allow people utilizing demand response to schedule trips if they want to, using an app for the first time. And it will also give us more flexibility in the types of service delivery that we have, because we'll be able to use microtransit services if we decide we want to try that. So. So as I mentioned earlier, we are an important part of the infrastructure in the economy of Junction City. We come to the table with 70% of the funding already in place to operate the services, and 80% of the cost of any new vehicle. So we already come to that table. We are required to have a 30% local match. So that means your investment in our services we're able to leverage and bring a 5-to-1 economic return. Those are wages, those are goods and services that we purchase here in Junction City. The vast majority of our employees who work here live here. So they're your neighbors, your friends and family, and they are spending that money here in Junction City. So this brings me to also some of our challenges, and if you would turn to pages 8 and 9 in your packets, I would appreciate it. This year, unfortunately, we have seen some significant challenges. Geary County cut our budget by $40,000 this year. And for the last several years, we've had a partnership with USD 475, and that is coming to an end actually last month. And that was $71,528 annually. We cannot sustain the services that we're operating today with those kinds of budget cuts.
Was that combined?
No, it was $40,000 from Gary County and $71,528 from the school district.
So about 115,000 total cuts.
Right. So what that means is two things. It means that we won't be able to sustain the fixed routes. And it means that nearly $300,000 in funding that we get awarded is clawed back by KDOT because we can't spend it because we don't have the local match. So it's kind of a double whammy. The people that really need the service will lose it, and this community loses money into its local economy. We also risk losing $900,000 in federal funds that were approved for this community to have a transit facility. So our ask of you today is a significant increase. In our operations, we're asking for $122,000. And we're asking also for your consideration regarding the transit facility. This grant is 6 years old, and KDOT will take the money back if we do not come up with a plan to spend that money here.
When should that talk to
I don't have a deadline yet, but they want the money to be spent.
That was my first question was this inclusive of that grant? I know we've had some side conversations with city staff about opportunities to potentially provide an in-kind match through avenues to.
No, this does not include that. This is just for operations. This is
Yeah.
just to make up for the loss in
Can you
local
tell us
match
why you had the
money.
losses? Why did the county pull back and why did the city?
The
pull
county
out?
wants
I mean,
the county wants the city to fund a bigger proportion of our budget than they do.
In speaking with county commissioners, they feel that the majority of the citizens who live within the county but outside of city limits are not served by this, so they felt that they should fund it appropriately.
The school district said that they were having budget cuts and they were cutting this budget.
Have we made changes to the transportation that we offer in anticipation of USD
We're working on
475?
that now. We will no longer go to the high school.
Okay. I understand we had a program with 475 where we had to stop at the high school and the middle school, and I believe we were offering them, the students and staff, free transportation. Is that correct?
Correct. So the students from the middle school and the high school could use the bus year-round at any stops, locations for free. And that's gone away as well.
So you charge $1 per ticket, is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
I mean, we'll be very candid here that when I first saw this in the agenda this weekend, I was like, well, I can't say the word out loud that I said to myself, but it was there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a board member of this organization. I understand a lot of the trials and tribulations that have gotten us to this point. It is still a very large request to swallow.
Right.
I also see the consequences of not entertaining this. We have an above average population of lower class, impoverished, struggling people. And so that will only worsen if they cannot get to work, if they cannot get to mental health appointments. This is a very hard topic to face today. It's
It
a
is.
very needed service, and it comes with a very steep cost. I'm going to piggyback off of what Commissioner Nimzik has asked. Have we had any conversations about raising the fare to some degree? I mean, we have to keep this accessible to our impoverished people, but I mean, we've all filled up our gas tanks lately. It's rough out here.
Right.
Has that been discussed?
So the problem with raising the fare is that it is not local match. And the way the federal laws are structured, we have to spend the fares first before we can ask for any reimbursement. on the federal grant. So it reduces the amount of the grant that you can spend, and it doesn't do enough to really make a dent in operations. The costs are the same whether one person rides the bus or 100 people ride the bus. And so it has historically for us not been a winning proposition. It will reduce ridership. And if we were going to say, you know, the cost is going to be raised to $20 a fare, then we might generate a little bit of revenue, but we wouldn't generate what we're going to lose. So you're kind of darned if you do and darned if you don't in that scenario.
I was thinking
And-
closer to $2 than $20, maybe.
That's not going to make us a bit of difference. I'll have our staff put together some statistics for you to demonstrate that, because I realize the feds call it project income. And so if you have $100 in expenses and you have $10 in fares, you can't ask to be reimbursed for $100 in expenses. You have to deduct the fare, spend it first, and then go for the expenses and the reimbursement. Our fares are comparable to all of our peers of like-sized communities. But we will definitely, we'll provide you some more information on that.
I'd really like to know what the demand is, how many people you're serving.
Okay.
Is it the same repeat people, with the less than 20,000 fares for a year? Or are we serving a huge portion of the community with this?
Okay. And keep in mind, that's, half of the ridership we did 2-3 years ago, too, because we've had to reduce services so greatly. So sadly, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy after a while.
You guys, I genuinely don't remember, because Grandview is like this weird extension, not extension of Junction City. Are there any stops in Grandview?
Yes, we have one at Handy's.
Okay. Do you guys offer the demand response in Grandview?
Yes, we offer demand response throughout Geary County.
Does Grandview offer any funding for
No,
this?
they do not.
Have you asked?
We have not recently, no.
I'd say it's about time then if we
Okay.
are offering that. I think that would be an easy win, potentially. Potentially.
We'll reach out to them.
If you need help facilitating that, let me know.
Okay, we'll be happy to.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else? All right.
And just one quick brief thing. On your page 9, you will see what the proposed, obviously this happened before the school district ended their relationship with us, but you can see what the proposed service would look like within the transit study and its proposed plan as well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. All right. All right, we'll go ahead and move on to, we'll return to the budget discussion. And if Chief Nichols and Assistant Chief Cordell want to come forward and kind of take up where you left off.
I've got a couple questions for Mr. Wilcox briefly as we re-engage this conversation. Just to make sure we're aligned here, these budget discussions are for our consideration. We have not formally entered budget season per se. This is for us to anticipate these costs and requests. Is that correct?
Yeah, and then we'll have a meeting to see what you want to fund and what you don't want to fund.
Excellent.
The meeting was short, so we jammed it full of budget stuff.
Yeah.
We took over the meeting, sorry, but we wanted you here all night.
Yeah, well, no, that's why I want to affirm this. I love that we're doing this. I love that the first city meeting of the month, we start an hour early. We get a heads up, we anticipate, we have the opportunity to provide this feedback. So I think it's great. I'm going to acknowledge a pain point I think all of us feel in the room. Everything costs more.
Yep.
Especially taxes. I don't
They don't
like.
have to. You can cut services. They don't have to cost more. You can cut things, which keeps taxes level. Oh, somebody told me to shut up, so I gotta stop.
No, there's a
I
six,
couldn't hear you, I'm sorry.
Yeah, say it louder. I could barely hear you, sir. Say it with your chest.
Okay, I said things don't have to cost more. You can cut spending, and keep taxes level.
Yeah, I mean, I think I potentially speak for all commissioners seated today. The primary goal is to be at or below R&R. The even more ideal goal is to be below R&R in anticipation of the average 6% increase that the county saw on appraisal this year. It's a hard pill to swallow, given the amount of positive percentages we've seen, but I do genuinely believe that these preparatory meetings will help us in that pursuit.
Yeah, there are a lot of micro details in these budgets, and I have said before, and others have said, I agree with that. We don't have the valuation due yet.
No. You would know when we get it. I'll send it out when we get it. We have to have it by the 15th, and they don't start sending them until June 1st.
Cool.
All righty.
Mr. Odell?
Okay, before I jump over to the dispatch side of things, were there other questions on the police side of the house?
How much is your donut budget? Kidding. Kidding.
That comes out of Chief Nichols' pocket.
Oh, can I get in on that? I apologize.
Sure, come on down.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so on the dispatch side, you see the same range of salary type increases. Holiday worked looks like a big jump at 105%. That's from the extra holidays that were put in.
Sir, I'm going to pause you briefly. Can you give us a line number?
I'm sorry. It is 10-518 on the dispatch one, which is page 3 of 3.
Bear with me.
No, you're good.
I'll get there.
Page 3. Okay. They have the same page numbers that I do, I assume. Oh, okay. Theirs is on page 3. Okay.
Oh, excellent. I'm good. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Proceed.
So that is a 105% increase, but like Jamel said, that's a $19,000 total increase. It just happens to be 105%. There's not as much decrease on this side of the house. You do see the major decreases on software and computer hardware, which again is going over to IT. So Mr. Darrow will talk about that when he gets to his specific portion. The only other major portion that went up on that side is our insurance and bonds. And forgive me, Mr. Wilcox, that I think comes from
Property and casualty.
Okay.
It comes from what? I didn't hear you.
Property and casualty is what he said, which is disaster insurance, I assume.
For your auto in your building. Property and casualty, liability insurance for his autos and building.
Okay. So it's our building insurance and our auto insurance. Dispatch is fairly straightforward. Most everything in it is mostly salary based. So are there any questions on the dispatch side?
No, I just want to add, when I was campaigning, I did a sit-in with dispatch. I'm not allowed to talk about what I witnessed, but wow. 6 screens, 2 phone calls. Wow. I commend those people.
They take a lot of information in simultaneously and have to understand it. I could not do it.
Yeah. Insanity.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
So moving on to IT budget discussion.
I get to be the fun one because I consolidated stuff, so your numbers that you'll see will look pretty crazy at first, but I assure you they're not that crazy. In the sheets that Jamel gave, first one, oh, do you have IT? Do they have IT? Man, hoarding the IT sheets, man.
Ooh, more packets. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
So, when I started in September 2024, IT was kind of split out amongst all the departments. So the IT director was still the one budgeting for it, but I would have to go into fire department's budget and police department's budget and dispatch's budget and put if they're going to get a computer replacement or what software increases were being charged or any of that. And it was just a time-consuming process when most of those funds were general fund anyway, so it's the same pot of money. Same with the paying of the bills. I was having to go through there and code stuff to 30 different department line items because it was split all these different ways between all these different departments. And so this year, I talked to Jamel and Mr. Zimmerman and asked if we could try to consolidate general fund items as much as possible. That way, we're just coding it out of one item versus coding it out of 30. And so the first one, you'll see 520, the regular time salaries and wages. On the sheet, it shows a 256% increase. There is an increase in there because the PIO salary, we hired her in July last year after our budget talks had already kind of been going and whatnot, and so we never actually got that into the budget, in the IT budget. We had other vacant positions within the city, so we had the money to fund the position. But you have that, and then we had IT left over from when we supported the sheriff's office IT. 45% of our IT salaries were being charged to dispatch because we used to bill onto the sheriff's department for them. We're getting away with that. That 45% and the 25% that was already in IT is all coming back into IT. And so the actual increase is 36%, which is roughly $64,000. And that is mainly due to the PIO salary actually being added into the budget, the IT budget. Computer hardware is another one, 630. So in fiscal year 13, I only had 13,000 in that line item for IT. We're going to 86,500, which is a 565% increase. Again, those were all to different departments. So when I calculated up, we had $46,000 that was already budgeted to other departments. So the actual increase is from 59,000 to 86,500, which is a 47% increase. This year and 26 and 27 year were kind of weird years for the computer equipment. During COVID, they actually skipped a year of computer replacements. And so we would have had 120 computers next year to replace. Since 26 was a light year for computer replacements, I actually planned ahead and replaced a lot of those 27-year computers this year to kind of make that number smaller and kind of balance them out year after year, because we have a 5-year replacement cycle for our computers, so we try to cycle them through every 5 years. Some other 600 series line items. You got 646 operations. That goes from a 6,000 to a 10,000, so it's a 67% increase, $4,000. When I was looking at these line items, as of Monday, we'd already spent 4,100 of the 6,000 in that 646 line item. So that is anything from like the PIO now, when she goes and has flyers printed. If we need stuff for like the DTF building to get it up operational for internet, we had to pay for some conduit and some wiring and cabling to actually run through that facility to get them internet access. So that's the kind of stuff that comes out of that operations line item. Office supplies went from 500 to 1,000. Again, with PIO having new staff. When I started in 24, we had 2 IT people, me and Mike. We've now got a staff of 5, including the PIO. So we're going through more pens and paper and that kind of stuff. The PIO has its own printer as well, her own printer. So we have to pay for toner for that printer. It's not on the Xerox contract. So planning accordingly for the staff increase there. Let's see, 710 software maintenance. On your sheet, it'll look like a 91% increase. Had 206,712 in IT for 26, going to 395, 842 and 27. But we're capturing 172,000 from the other general fund departments. So our actual increase is about 15,000. We're going from 379 to 395, almost 396. So it's actually a 4% increase when you calculate the consolidation. 714, repair and maintenance of data processing. So this is our internet, cable, TV bills, those kind of things. Those are a pain in the butt to deal with when trying to split them amongst all the departments. It shows a 49% increase on the sheet. We're consolidating 11,580 from other general fund departments. So our actual increase is from 66,000 to 81,000 for a 23% increase. 735 telephone, same type of thing. Just consolidating that to make it easier. We're not spending staff hours on coding and all that. This one shows a massive increase on your sheet of over 3,000%, because that before it only had the IT phone in there. We only had 4 staff, so we didn't have a whole lot of phones. This one will consolidate 86,400 from other departments. So we're going from an 89,000 to a 100,000. So it's really only about a $10,000 jump, 12%. Other services, going from a 20% increase on your sheet. We're consolidating about 8,000 from other general fund departments. So we're looking at actually a 16% increase from 264 to 308,000. The majority of that is our network licensing. So we have a Cisco Meraki network. That network licensing, they license for 1, 3, 5, 10 years. Our licensing expires, I think, February of 27. And so we'll need to look at 3 or 5 year terms and push that out. So I put $50,000 in there as a placeholder to make sure we have the money for that licensing renewal when it comes up, because we don't want our network to go down. 755, office equipment service agreement. This was another one that looks like a massive, almost 10,000% increase. This one is all of our Xerox printers. We also pay 2 cents per black and white copy and 10 cents per color copy for those Xeroxes, because they, ProCopy out of Manhattan will come service them. They provide us the toner. It's all included in the service agreement, so we're not having to buy the toner ourselves. So I only had $600 in there for my IT budget last year because I only had one printer, one Xerox. We're consolidating 57,120 from other departments, so it's basically a wash. There's a $280 increase. While it looks massive on that sheet with the consolidation, it's actually a wash. Travel and training, a 45% increase here, again due to the staff. Katie, the PIO, is active in CAPIO, the Kansas Association of PIOs. She goes to their conferences around the state. We have the GMIS conference or organization that we're members of, and so the IT folks go to the GMIS conferences, and so we added a little bit more in there to account for the additional staff. And then capital equipment, this one is a big increase, the 243%. The $1.2 million is what we're estimating is a replacement cost for our city server system. So we have a stack of 4 servers at the municipal building and another 4 at the police department. And we have to replace those. They are 7 years old. They're approaching the end of their life. They're running a program, VMware version 8, that will not be supported come October of next year. And under CGIS rules, your software has to be supported for security patches and updates in order to maintain CGIS compliance. And so we need to replace those servers come October of next year. We've gotten some preliminary quotes. The problem with IT, with the data centers and stuff that are being built, IT prices are skyrocketing. So 1.2 is what we've gotten on the quote right now, but we don't know what that cost will actually look like come January when we go to move forward with it. Some people are seeing some astronomical increases. So we put the 1.2 in there. It would be a lease purchase, so we'd be asking Jamel to go out and get the lease purchase set up, and then we would pay for it over, was it 5 years? 7 years. So that's part of what's in the, what line item was that? Well, there's another line item, I think that pays for that, the principal and interest, right? No, the 900 series line items, those are for the principal and interest payments. So that would be our principal and interest payments each year for the next 7 years for this $1.2 million project.
Is it all 8 that have to be replaced, or just the ones at
Yeah,
the police department?
It's all 8. They're clustered, so they're stacked together, so they operate as one. They just use and share the computing power and the storage on them. And we put a cluster here and a cluster there. That way, if one building gets wiped off, all the stuff can get moved to the other and operations can still stay operational. Any other questions?
But I understand that you warned us ahead of time.
Yes. And like I said, when you actually take down and look at what's being consolidated, it really isn't a jump. It's just a movement of where things are getting paid out.
Okay.
Just what's the interest expenses part of that in the lease purchase?
Yeah.
As part of those 8?
Yeah, so the two line items start with like 0, 9, 10, and
9, 10, and 9.
yeah, one of those is the lease, the principal purchase, and one is the interest on that lease purchase. 910 is the interest, and then 985 would be the actual principal payment every year.
You mean 95? Oh, I mean,
Nine-
you're referring to the line, okay.
Yeah, 910 and 985. So you have a 65,000 in interest expense and a 95,000 in lease purchase principal payment every year for the next 7 years.
How much was the interest? I don't have a sheet, you didn't give me one.
65.
65,000 a year?
Actually, Mr. Zimmerman, you make a good point. I see stacks of paper back there. Are these accessible to those attending today?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, we put 'em back.
excellent. Love that, thank you.
Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right. So moving on to update on city projects. So update on city projects.
All right, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Honorable Commissioners, I promised you a while ago an update on where we stand with all our city projects that you have graciously funded over the last 18 months to 2 years. So this briefing was supposed to give it 2 weeks ago, that's why it says as of 19 May, but I was out, so we're going to do it today. It'll be a tag team effort between me and my staff, and we'll go from there. And if you guys have any questions, please ask. On this chart here, the slide here, the ones in yellow were approved. So these are the ones you approved back 1 year ago. Next slide. Okay, Project 10 was approved. You can see we talked about it earlier with Vanessa. It hasn't come to fruition as far as funding yet, but you can see the dogs, 76% are legal hold right now. So we are spending a lot of money on the legal side. Britain's researching that right now as far as all the legal cases to find out what kind of restitution we're going to get on that to help make that up and see if we can try to get some of these animals taken care of. But it's something that we do provide a service for this, and that's just a fact that we got to deal with. This map here shows where the major projects are in the city. So the green squares, that's where they are in the city. The red are the ones that weren't approved. Next slide. Okay, we're working this project now. This one is the mill and overlay for Grant Avenue. They've already started doing this. We are working with Fort Riley for Trooper Gate. We got the metal plates coming. We're renting them to cover the expansion joints on Trooper Bridge. Once we get that, then Fort Riley said they will at least entertain us in a discussion about opening Trooper Gate while we do the mill and overlay on Grant Avenue. Next slide.
Wow, that's awesome.
Exit and entrance.
Yes, that's what we're working on right now.
Thank
Now,
you.
obviously, we'll have to keep some traffic on Grant Avenue because businesses have to remain open, the medical clinic, you know, that kind of stuff, so.
Thank you to everyone who's
Back
participating
one,
in that
please.
effort.
You're fine. That's the good thing about having a military liaison in the city, that he knows who to talk to. He's already started the dialogue, et cetera, and working this. But you can see the contract let him out. The estimate, it went to Schilling, should be done by 1 July. One piece on here is this $160,000. There's a possible change order that you guys may want to approve to include, how many linear feet was that?
The original was 2,000.
It's about 2,000 linear feet for curbs and gutters, et cetera, along Grant Avenue at the same time. So that's something you guys may want to consider approving, a change order for another $160,000 tonight to do that, and that's what I'll recommend when we get to it.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
Why was that not anticipated?
Because we were trying to do the mill and overlay with a minimum amount of expense, because before we get the DSIP, or hopefully get the DSIP or the build grant. But some of these issues came up that they're probably weren't getting added into this project.
So this is separate from the temporary fix that we did, and this is also separate from the permanent fix we are to be doing?
No, this is part of the temporary one we did with the mill and overlay.
The
This summer.
question, when's
Go
that
ahead.
award, the decision on that, the build grant?
It is 29 June.
And
There's an issue that we've often overlooked. When we do overlays, we've got these curbs that are broken curbs, and we've done overlays, and then you have broken curbs as a part of the overlay. I think it's a really good question you've asked. Why wasn't this figured in the original? Because in the past, we've done overlays without fixing the curbs. So you do the overlay, and the curb's all still broken. So this additional, I think, personally, I think that the worst part is the part from the small median from Grant and 18 down just past to, I think it's Prospect, where the narrow curves. That's 1,000 linear feet.
we'll come back to this.
I just real
That's
quick.
what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Just real quick, is that something that could be held off on in case we do get?
It could be held off on, and if we do it toward DSIP or build, it would be years down the road before we get to it, like 2 years.
How bad are they?
They're pretty bad.
If you just drive down Grant Avenue slowly, early in the morning, and look at mostly where the yellow paint is and chipped, we're gonna put a brand new surface, and all those small medians are gonna look horrible, and they're gonna be cracked. And I think 1,000 linear feet is about what I've calculated. I don't know if that's correct. The city manager and staff will verify that, but I don't think the expense would be near that if they just do that 1,000 linear feet. But that's my opinion, based on some research.
Basically, just getting it done now.
Yeah, okay. I'll ask that we proceed with the presentation and come back to this topic.
Well, thank you. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, this one wasn't approved. Next one. Next one. Okay, Westwood Boulevard Mill and Overlay. So nobody bid on this one. Next one, please.
No bids?
No, there's no bid. You'll see it up there, sir. So no bidders on 31 March project. It's now being divided into phases. The new bid opening is 10 June for concrete, which is phase 1, which is the 4-inch mill and overlay, Westwood Boulevard, 2-inch mill and overlay of the cul-de-sacs.
How often do we see projects not receive bids?
It's happened more than once since I've been here, probably half a dozen times, maybe. Yeah,
Is
at
it
least.
because of
Yeah.
the magnitude of the project? Is that why we're
Well,
separating?
yeah, exactly, that's mostly, yeah. Next slide. Next slide. So we didn't include this. Next. Now, the 12th Street community projects, those are going in place right now. They're working on all the parking ramps out there, et cetera. You see the list that's on there. Next slide. You can see it began early April. It's supposed to be through this summer by 1 August, hopefully be complete. Next slide. This one wasn't approved. This one wasn't approved. But we did do some Rather, stay there, please. We did do some Rather stuff upgrades, and we'll get to that here in a bit. We did do some other stuff that just wasn't part of that. So we did a neighborhood crack repair, estimated cost about $155. We let the contractors about $90. It did get awarded. They finished, but we got a bunch more to do. Next. So we got another contract as needed. There was a bid opening. We had 4 bidders. I don't know if I don't think we're ready to bring in the numbers yet. Is that correct? For the,
Yeah, I think we just approved setting it out for bid.
was it the last meeting?
Yeah.
Oh, when I wasn't here. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, good, all right. Next. This was done. Next. That was complete. Next. Here's the animal shelter again. Basically, we are adding about 3,000 square feet. Vanessa was right when you include the cost of utilities and stuff. We are at capacity. I think it was, right now, estimate was, oh, go to the next slide. I think it's on the next slide. There you go. We covered $600,000 for this project. The lowest bid was almost $1 million, so about $400,000 short.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Couldn't we do DSIP with Fort Riley on this? Could they say they don't have a?
No, sir, you're absolutely right. An animal shelter, a library, that kind of stuff could be done through DSIP. That can be, but the problem is it's got to be a #1 priority for the base. And the animal shelter is not going to be a #1 priority with everything else they have going on in the base. That's a good point. We talked about it, but it's not going to be one of those ones right now that the CG is going to say, my #1 priority is animal shelter over my soldiers' needs.
If we could, okay, I just think that if we could leverage some of that, I don't know if you can talk them into discussing that, because they can't build anything.
I haven't given up on it. It's just, at this point now, we're focused on Grand Avenue. So the lowest bid, so we're looking at 2 options to pay. Just get a loan. I talked to Jamel about this. He must have went to the bathroom. Oh, there he is right there. What'd you go to the back for? I do it all the time. You know I have trouble finding good staff.
Dispatch and.
All right. So Jamel's got some great ideas on this. One thing we talked about is encumbering the $600,000, just keeping it, and getting a low-interest loan to pay for it. Do the $1.2 million, just get a loan and pay for it that way. And then you'd still have the $600,000 left, and you could actually probably do the DTF building and some other things with that money too, and kill a few birds with one stone. Other thing we talked about is if the loan goes through with the VA for the sale of the call center, we'll have some money left over. We could possibly pull some of the money for that for DTF as well.
Can you remind me of the timeline for when the VA is going to make their choice?
They're supposed to announce it by the end of May. That's what we're waiting for now. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. We're waiting.
Thank you, Mr. Second Guest. Middle of July.
So real quick, the last slide, I missed it. Can you
Back
go
slide. Back one, please.
So currently housing 38 dogs and 27 cats. What will the expansion provide for?
Oh, it's almost double that.
Almost
Double that.
almost.
We'll be able to, yeah, we'll be able to take care of a lot more animals and, when we expand it. It also includes, like the quarantine areas, because we get animals in that are, when they're abused, they're sick and things like that. And right now, there's no air handling system to do the quarantine areas and from the offices and all that stuff. So it'll be a much better facility for the animals. And it's bad, yeah. Good question though, Kelly. Next slide, please. Next slide. So we didn't approve any of the equipment items and stuff. I think Ray's going to come up and talk about some possible purchases with some enterprise funds next meeting. But we did purchase this. You did approve this. This will be here in July for your lawnmower, Josh? Yeah, July. So here's some other projects. You have the JTF, DTF building renovation. We got the bids on there. Again, we all know we need to get the building upgraded, but we're waiting for some specific funds for that based on some of the issues I already mentioned to you. Raythorpe Stadium, see that Josh has been working. You got scoreboard complete, truss is complete. They did the awning. They're replacing the ceiling fans. They did a bid opening on the deck, but the price was way too high. I mean, it was ridiculously high. So we're going back.
Why was that labor only?
It was like 25,000 just for, what was the labor on that? For the deck? 25,000 just for the labor.
bid went out
Yeah.
as labor only. I'm just asking why.
Oh, it did?
I can answer that.
Okay.
I needed to get an estimate for materials to get total project costs, so we solicited bids from the Built Lumber Company in Manhattan and Waters Trubay. Just to give me, they pulled all the quantities and gave me prices.
Okay, so the city was gonna purchase materials.
Yes.
And we were only asking for
For labor.
labor.
I think it came in at $25,000.
22,500.
Do you think that was gonna save us money? Is that why you did it that way?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You moved the deck, are we talking about the bleachers?
No, this is a raised deck.
To replace the old bar area, just gotta raise up higher. Right into the fence if you're sitting there in the chair.
We talked about the fence, and I think I've got another slide with the fence, so we'll come back to that, but you can see the estimates from 161,000, 211,000 for the fence. And there's one estimate for 255 for the outfield and the perimeter, we'll get to that. Hammond Park upgrades, you can see this, so we're still working this. Next. All the stuff for 12th Street. That's really nice. I went down there last week and reviewed it. They're doing a great job down there. They got the shed outside, a couple sheds now, so they're cleaning out the building and getting, it all squared away with everything you've already approved. Park and recreation projects, there's a bunch of stuff on there you've seen that you've approved in the past.
Before you skedaddle, sir,
Mhm.
South Park, what are we doing with that? Is that just a human drinking fountain?
It's a dog fountain too.
Oh, okay. Understood.
Actually, when I built the slides, I wrote on here, what the heck, and was gonna send it to Josh, because I thought we were all drinking out of the same water fountain. I said, you know what, I gotta give the guy some credit. I'm sure he wouldn't have one fountain for dogs and people.
It's got like a bowl where they can drink out of it.
The people or the
The
dogs?
dog. It's got
Like I said, the staff is the issue, guys, I'm sorry.
Thank you. I don't know.
Next slide. All right, Trooper Gate, this is going out for bid here. Did we have the bid opening? I don't think you've consolidated all the numbers on that yet,
Yeah,
right?
we're
Have you?
gonna get ready for approval. It's $1,758,206.34.
Okay, so it was given for this company here for 1787, but they aren't approved to work, by KDOT. So we had to take it back out to bid again. So the bid for the next one is within tens of thousands of that. So we'll bring that up to you once we look at it.
So I just want to affirm real quick.
Yeah.
It was correct that we were going to do it this summer.
That's
The
correct.
only reason it's being delayed is because
Yeah.
that contractor
Yes.
was not approved by
Correct.
KDOT.
Yeah, we were gonna do it, but we had to
Thank
delay
you,
it.
sir.
It's on the agenda for the sir.
For tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sidewalks, we're still looking at sidewalks. That is a huge issue, and we got some estimates on that. We're working through grants and stuff with Chris's guys on that, CDGB. So we are working that. We understand sidewalks is a huge issue within the city, and we totally understand that. We are working it, so I don't want the citizens to think that we're not aware of this, and we are. We're very aware of it. This is the estimate for the curbing, painting, medians, et cetera, for the $160,000 for the change order. If you would like to vote on that tonight. I didn't put it on the agenda, because I didn't know if you want to vote on it unless you guys want us to bring it back with further details at the next meeting, and we can do that. I have no problem with that. We can bring that.
would be my preference.
Next slide. And it just goes on and on. Here you go. You got the McFarland Traffic Circle bid opening 23 June. Mr. Panera gave us a list of projects last year. We call it Mr. Panera 17. It was just easy to remember. So 4 were completed, 7 are in the design phase, 5 are scheduled for 2027, 1 is scheduled for 2026. Here's the fences that we talked about for Rather. It depends what you guys want to do down there. Me, personally, I think, Kelly, I think you said it earlier, I think you're better off to spend the money on it and just get the good fence, do the perimeter, outfield, do the whole thing and be done with it, with the good wood and stuff.
They got free pallets behind
Do you want to
waters.
talk about the fence, Josh, at all? So would you pass up to?
The Hollywood one.
Which one?
The old fence. It was the
Which one?
synthetic.
This one here?
Synthetic, yep.
112?
The perimeter out and outfield too was the synthetic.
Same thing, same material for that one?
Yes.
Is that on the agenda, Britton, tonight?
Which?
It's not on it for tonight. Okay, it's not on it for tonight. Well, food for thought, okay? Next slide. Again, we're still ongoing here. It's amazing how many projects we got going on in the city that people think we're not doing anything. It really is amazing for the support the commissioners have done for the city in the past year and a half, 2 years since I've been here. So These projects here are ongoing, they're still in design phase. You guys approved this about, maybe 3 months ago, so Cobb Valley is still working on those for the annex properties and the extension on K57 as a secondary route. I got another list from Mr. Panera, which is good. Some of this stuff is part of the list he gave us before, but we do notice that. We're working on that stuff, and we're getting designs put together. Next. These are some of the projects that are also going on, the street maintenance, citywide concrete repair, citywide mastic, Freeman Field. Next. More projects that are ongoing. And then stuff that's on the radar, water treatment plant well study. We got a meeting in Kansas City to meet with engineers to discuss that with the study, because the study was denied by KDHE. We're also working with USDA, Jimmy Joe, on that to try to come up with funding on that, so they're willing to help us on that. And that leads into the drilling piece. I also got a meeting coming up to talk about a regional incinerator that USDA is helping with us on working that. And then we also talked about recently the DPW / Parks Headquarters Building / ATA would be there as well. Next.
Library parking lot.
Yeah, I talked to Ray about that. Was that yesterday? Go ahead, Ray. Yesterday, maybe it was today. This morning.
It's under design right now.
Under design.
Yeah, we have several parking lots still under design. Library's one of them. Backside of the fire station #1 is another one. The golf course is another one. So those are on design right now.
Are we including curbs for that parking lot? They're crumbling.
At the library?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll look at it and see what we need to do.
Please.
If it makes sense to put them back in. Again, we got a design for the city one right here. We will take out the curbs, and that allows more spacing and stuff like that. So we'll look at that and see if that design fits that criteria. If it didn't, then we'll do something. We'll put the curbs back in.
Beautiful.
What is there, what is there to design with the parking lot? If you're just gonna?
No, drainage. You got drainage issues. We got to make sure it drains. And we shoot topos and check it out.
At the Bramlage Library?
Excuse me?
At the Dorothy Bramlage.
Yeah, you got big puddles in there if it rains, it just sits in
We
there.
have to
So,
look at it, make sure it drains properly. If you're not, you're gonna be back there in 5 years again, because the water's gonna ruin the asphalt.
I'm looking to the past. Why aren't these things draining properly?
Some of it's designed, some of them didn't design it very well.
Some sidewalks, if you go in the parking lot, like the library, that's why I called them today, because the puddles, that's why I called them today about it when I was walking the town. It just settles, where cars keep parking, and it just settles, and it just gets there, and it's just old, crumbling.
Are we gonna pave that, lot where the old municipal court building used to be?
We can take a look at it. I know at one time we had a design for it,
Why don't we just sell it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
the one right across the street. Where the
the
building
building
code, no, where building codes parks, and then there's that empty. I know we got a design for it, so we can look at it.
I have a request.
Yes?
The little circle on 7th Street, by Dillon's.
Uh-huh.
Can we paint that curb yellow rather than the road around it where nobody can see it?
Yeah, we can do that.
Thank you.
What if we just got rid of it?
That would be great too.
What if we just took
That's
it?
part of the deal with KDOT. Yeah.
600 grand.
No,
Yeah.
there's another option.
What?
We need to meet with all the parties involved, Blue Cross, all that live well, the city, and if everybody's agreement, we could take it out without any cost.
I would love to just see that curb painted until then. I can't tell you how many times I've hit it and I've seen other people hit it.
We got one to do tonight, so.
We can take a look.
Are we, is this not the time for questions, guidance, comments?
Any of your questions,
Tonight,
that
but-
concludes my brief on the updates. Next month, no, next 2 weeks, I'm going to brief you on the water rate study. I would have been do it today, but I had to finish this one. So the water rate study, and I think we may be briefing you on some Raythard stuff as well, so.
Somewhat.
Raythard stuff.
I had a question as well. I know we've had some intermittent conversations about surveys being done at intersections.
That'll be done in 2 weeks. We got the results back. All 4 intersections that are in question warrant additional traffic control. And that'll be the 16th of June. We'll brief that to you.
Beautiful,
I'll
thank
send
you,
you
sir.
the numbers ahead of time, but that's next on 16th.
Did one of those include the roundabout on South Washington Street? I have to go back in and review. Someone just brought something to my attention, and I can connect with you later if I need to. The roundabout down on South Washington Street?
South Washington and Ash?
No, even further
Oh,
south.
the
down
one by the
highway.
interstate. What
Yes.
about it?
I'll connect with you later. Someone brought something to my attention, so I'll pass it on. It was just today.
Okay.
Oh, okay, thank you. All right.
Thank
That
you.
was just finished on the South Washington last year.
All right, thanks.
All right, okay. Well, moving on to new business, A, consideration of the fire department request to purchase a new self-contained breathing apparatus air compressor system using the city's RFP process for an estimated amount of $90,210.
Mayor and Commission, yes, in front of you is a proposal for use of city policy to get an air compressor for Station 1. Station 1 also, people come by, other agencies like Riley County PD, they use it as well for us to use their tank to fill. So this one we currently have is at Station 2. It's a good compressor, it's used for there as well, but Station 1 doesn't have a compressor. We have funds from last year, we sold a lot of equipment and some vehicles. We have enough money to purchase this. We're requesting that we put out for RFP.
Did you say that other departments are coming and utilizing ours?
Raleigh County PD does for, they have a scuba bottle they use for their non-lethal.
I noticed we were a vowel short of scuba. I was curious.
So this is gonna be, yes, the note on that, this is gonna be scuba certified.
Do we charge them for
Compressor
those
as well.
services?
We don't.
So the other one that we have is not scuba?
It is.
So why do we need to, sir?
I want a compressor at this station because of the training and all the bottles. So right now, currently, when there's a fire, all the bottles get switched to the other engines. And the one at Station 1, if we use a fire, then those bottles stay. And then the admin, which is Ian or myself, will load those up, take them all out to Station 2, the ones that we use, and then bring them back into town to restock that engine. Most fire departments have multiple stations that have multiple compressors. So we do have the funds for this.
So
But any other
Riley
questions?
County doesn't have,
They're not scuba air, no, not scuba tank. Nope. They do have they called their fire department and asked if they could do it. They don't have a scuba certification.
We
It's a
charge them?
different-
We
if it
charge
did-
them for air?
We don't. It's just one bottle. We didn't charge
You don't
them.
make money on air?
I know, right?
It's fruit sandwiches or something.
I mean, so they don't have one, and we're gonna have two?
The Riley County PD don't have one now. Manhattan Fire has multiple, yes.
I'm seeing an approximation of 90,000 for this project and that we're going to be using recovered funds. Approximately how many recovered funds do we have?
We have 90, but I did get a quote for the compressor, and it's around 56,000, so.
Oh, okay.
This is the funding I can have, is 90,000 from all the sales and equipment that we have used.
Okay, understood. What's the risk if we don't say yes today? What happens? What's like the worst case scenario?
Mill takes that money from us this year. Well,
That's what, right?
he will, yes. We have to spend it
What
this year.
you gonna use it for, Mr. Wilcox?
For fire?
You could carry it over into the budget this year for other purposes.
So this is, what I'm hearing is part of the reason we're interested in making this purchase is because it's a use it or lose it funding situation. Am I hearing that appropriately?
It's not necessarily, it's not a use it or lose it, but I did tell him if he didn't use it, I was gonna take it. But he,
Same capability at two stations, in
Yeah.
case one goes bad, you always got a backup, so that's not a bad thing.
And it eliminates, the firemen have to go back and forth in case calls come in. They're transporting tanks back and forth, so,
More gas.
yeah.
We do have reserve engines at each station as well now, so there's 2 engines.
the funds are coming from, he sold some excess property from vehicles, and that's where the funds are coming from.
Move to approve the compressor purchase as presented.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay.
Nay.
I think 3-2.
It's majority.
Motion carries.
Nothing personal. I just don't feel informed enough for that purchase.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to B, consideration of the request to award bid for the Washington Street Bridge rebid to Reese Construction Company Incorporated in the amount of $1,758,206.34.
Madam Mayor, Commissioners, on October 7th, the commission approved the KDOT agreement to rehab Washington Street Bridge, or Trooper Gate as they call it. This project is going to replace the failing abutment walls, expansion joints, approach slab on both ends of the continuous welded girder. Replacement of the rocker bearings at the south end and resetting the rocker bearings at the north abutment. Replacing approximately 20 foot of bridge deck at the abutments and painting environmental protection for the exterior girders. The bid opening held on May 28th. 3 qualified bidders. One was Reese Construction for $1,758,206.34. PBX Corporation, $1,829,743.80, and PCI Roads LLC for $1,841,025.14. The engineer's estimate for this project was $1,593,180. Reese's bid was $165,026 over the engineer's estimate. Funding would be coming from the Special Highway or FFE funds, and city staff recommends approving the award bid to Reese Construction of Salina, Kansas for the rehab for $1,758,206.34. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
What shares coming from KDOT? What percentage?
All we're getting from the cost share is 300 and, let me look here.
So we would pay approximately 1.4 and change?
Yeah, their share is 329,000 is our share. KDOT's giving us 329,000, and we have to make up the difference.
There've been some street talk about that bridge not being safe, but it's safe, is it not?
Yes, it is safe, once we get all these,
What about now?
well, it's safe now. I mean, other than expansion joints causing some issues right now.
That's why we need the metal plates, sir. Once we cover the metal, the expansion joints with the plates, it's safe to drive on. Engineers have evaluated, or looked at.
Yeah, but isn't there some projection of when that would become unsafe, like 4 or 5 years from now? Did I see that somewhere?
Not particularly on this bridge, I don't think. I
I
mean,
think
from my
that's-
inspection reports that I get from, Call Valley does an inspection like every year or every 2 years on these bridges. And from my inspection report, the bridge is in fair condition.
Fair
That,
condition.
Correct.
that may have been Grant Bridge. They presented that one a couple months
Say that
ago. The bridge on Grant, they did project that one
Right.
in a couple of years.
Well, there was some rumor that that's why Trooper Gate was closed, and I don't think that was the
No,
case
that's
at all.
not the case.
Correct?
That's not the case at all.
Right.
When we were first looking at that, we were talking about the Riverwalk Trail and being able to cross over Trooper Gate and a pedestrian or a bike area. It seems like maybe it was a year or two. It seems like I drove around with you or Ray or Josh or somebody. Is there any conversation? Isn't there currently a way to walk across that? And was there conversation about switching it to the other side so that you can get to the Riverwalk Trail or having a crosswalk or something? I can't remember our
You
conversation.
can walk, there is a pedestrian crosswalk on the east side of the bridge. If you decide to move it to the west side of the bridge, it's gonna cost you a lot of money, because the apprentices to that was not be able to handle it. You're gonna have to do some other contortions to be able to make that work. So it's not a cost feasible option.
Okay, thank you.
Could you review again for the public and for our benefit, the funds for this city's portion? It's available in our budget?
Correct. For right now, we get from the cost share, our share is 329,000. KDOT share is 329,000, and the rest is gonna have to come from FFE, federal exchange funds, or from our special highway funds.
What's the FFE?
It's the federal exchange funds where KDOT has a program right now. They will give us 99% of whatever the federal funds that we're supposed to get. And so they give us 9% of that monies.
So,
And I think the last one we did for 2025 is $291,000 is what we got.
so I'm just trying to understand, with all these other sources of revenue,
Mhm.
what are we gonna end up paying bottom line out of our funds, out of the city's funds?
Probably 1.1,
Okay, okay, that's
1.1 million,
What'd you say, 1.1?
1.1 bit roughly.
That's probably about right.
Because we get between $250,000 and $300,000 a year in it, yeah.
Right, and then
And
special,
we're not using it for this, we're using it for something else every year.
correct. And then from the special highway, we get roughly about 500, 600,000. And then we save those funds for our shared cost with KDOT for any of these projects that we do.
I've moved that we award the bid to Reese Construction for the amount stated at 1.758,206.34.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion?
Yes, two quick questions. Number one, have we had services from this contractor previously?
No, but they have done plenty of work, bridge work all over the state of Kansas.
Excellent. Number two, moving forward, will we be able to better anticipate bridge adjacent licensing for projects like these? My understanding is we had to put this back out for bid because the previous contractor wasn't qualified
Correct.
per
He did-
KDOT
He
standard.
did not meet KDOT qualifications.
I suppose my question is, at what point in the bidding process is that qualification determined, and are we prepared to anticipate that in the future?
That was already discussed with the owner of that company. They were informed that they had to meet KDOT qualifications. That was stressed to them when they did bid the project, and they bid it anyway.
Understood. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
If there's no further discussion, all those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, Commissioners.
C, consideration of the Junction City Fire Department request to purchase bunker gear from Delta Fire and Safety using the sole source purchasing policy in the amount of $37,704.40 plus freight.
Mayor and Commission, in front of you is to use a sole source purchasing policy with the city. This is compatibility with our existing equipment. We've been using this gear since 2004. Ron Wetter is our local guy. He does live here. And as you can see, there is a letter from Morning Pride that they are our distributor. And continue to be our distributor for bunker gear. This is 8 sets of gear for our new guys. So, be happy to answer any questions. This funding is in our budget for EMS and fire under our protective gear.
Move to approve the year purchase as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 6, executive session.
Madam Mayor, Commissioner, there's a recommended executive session motion before you, as this executive session was requested by some members of the commission.
So much time.
It was requested for 20 minutes.
I move that the commission recess for an executive session to include the city manager, finance director, and the city attorney for 20 minutes at
9:03.
9:03? What did you say? 9:03?
Yeah.
To discuss the matters regarding the contract known as the Master Agreement of Junction City Area Chamber of Commerce. The justification for the executive session is for the consultation with the city attorney and is deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship and is provided by KSA 75-4319B2. The open meeting is to resume in this room at 9:23. 23?
Is there any further discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries.
You wouldn't think that'd be a big deal.
Anyone else use my ibuprofen? Take one down, pass it around.
What's that?
Move to return from executive session where no decisions were made and no actions were taken.
Second. Any further discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries.
All right. I'm just taking notes of who moved for what. All right. On the unfinished business, Madam Mayor and Commission, I want to make sure we get things in the right order. There are two things I asked to make a model motion for. One dealt with funding for the EDC division of the Chamber of Commerce. The other dealt with giving notice about a restructure, so that way it's best for the community and its growth and communication and all that for all the various tendrils that are economic development, whether it's small business, large business, tourism, and all that. And so those two items are there on your agenda there. And if there's one of those two topics we'd rather address before one, the notice or the funding aspect, we can discuss those.
I would like to have you address the notice requirement, the deadline, and what that could result in.
Okay. Per the master agreement that was put in place in 2018 between the city, the county, Board of County Commissioners, as well as the Chamber of Commerce, there's a notice provision in there that if one of the parties wants to end that agreement, you have to give notice by July 1st of the first year of a 2-year term. And I believe we're in the first year of a 2-year term, or it might be in the second year, but if you don't give notice, then it delays it basically another 2 years to be able to deal with that issue. Now, just because you give notice regarding that, doesn't mean that you have to dissolve or terminate an agreement. It just opens the possibility for that. During the same time, all three parties, and this would be my thought, all three parties could sit down, come to a mutual agreement as to dissolution, restructure, because the whole thing is all those entities still need to be around, but how are they around? So you look at a restructure for economic development, military affairs, membership of the chamber, maybe CVB, maybe other entities.
So how would how would this notice be
Well,
drafted, and who would it be addressed to?
I would draft correspondence that would fit within the requirements of that agreement. I checked the master agreement before sending out that notice. That way I met everything and how it was sent out. But that would be upon a motion that would be done by you as a commission. And so what you'd want to do as a commission is direct me as city attorney to provide on or before June 30th of 2026. Notice required under the master agreement to the Board of County Commissioners of Gary County and the Junction City Area Chamber of Commerce regarding the city's intent to seek restructure of the agreement and return to the commission with appropriate options for further action later on.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries.
All right.
Personally happy that this has been brought forward so we can evaluate this, and I don't see any need for any further action at this point myself. I think we should see if this got some discussion going with all parties involved. That's just my comment.
Commissioner Nimzek.
I'm going to make the motion that the city commission withhold monetary disbursement by the city to Economic Development Commission except for payroll costs, existing contractual costs, lease obligations, and other substantial similar fixed costs All other requested disbursements shall be submitted in writing with supporting documentation and reviewed by the city manager and the finance director prior to the approval or denial.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, oh, excuse me.
No, I was just gonna say, I don't feel like personally that I have enough information to act on this motion. I may tonight, I just don't think so. But that's not to say at possibly the next meeting, I would if we could get additional information. I'd like to think about that personally.
It might be a little premature.
Is there any further discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
Nay at this time.
Motion carries. Moving on to public comment. Do we have anybody? Oh, here we are. The commission requests that comments be limited to a maximum of 5 minutes. And when you come forward, please state your name and address. Ann Smith?
She was with the ATA bus.
Mary Snipes?
My name is Anonymous. I'm sorry.
In the zip code, Miss Mary?
Mary Snipes, 222 East 15th Street, Junction City, Kansas, 66441. Okay, so this coming Sunday, beginning at 4, we're having the community walk for any type of senseless acts of violence. And of course, if any individuals show up, participate, they will end up with an orange shirt like this. And even for the baby shower, even for the babies. And I really, really want to thank the support of the city and so many citizens throughout these years. Next month, we're going to be having the 3-on-3 basketball tournament, the Summer Jam fundraiser, which first prize is $500 and second prize is $100. So we have already made contact, they made contact with us that we're going to have individuals from Topeka, Wichita, and Kansas City. So you guys come out. It's all over social media. One thing I want to say about the Felix Snipes Foundation is that regardless of what we have gone through, we do not allow negativity to define this mission. While we recognize the challenges within our communities, our focus remains on hope, service, unity, mentorship, safety, and creating positive opportunities that empower youth and families. And when I see something positive, or I have to share it. And so I want to share this. During this past weekend, during the Let's Skate Into Summer event, a family attended with their great-grandmother who is living with dementia. Near the end of the event, the grandfather shared how impressed he was with the kindness, patience, and compassion shown by a city employee working at the concession stand while assisting their great-grandmother. I'm not going to mention the individual's name because I don't have permission to, but I did share the information that was given to me. The grandfather also complimented the friendliness and helpfulness of our entire team. And I call anybody that associate with us and do things for the Felix Snipes Foundation. They're like a team of ours and more like family. But the grandfather, he complimented the friendliness and the helpfulness of our entire team, including my husband, Willie, who's in the process of retiring from USD 475 with 33 years. Woo! So, who helped make their families feel welcome throughout the event. Moments like these remind us that community service is often demonstrated through simple acts of kindness, respect, and understanding. And I'm gonna try not to cry because last weekend, there was a bike giveaway. And this little kid that won that bike, I cried terribly because if you guys could have seen the look on his face, and we have not posted that yet. And of course, Mom gave me permission to take pictures, but just simple acts of kindness, respect, and understanding. Oh, my time is up. Okay, so to the city employee, thank you for respecting your employer and our community so well. Your patience and compassion did not go unnoticed and made a meaningful difference to one family. All it takes is one. All it takes for one. At the Felix Snipes Foundation, we are grateful for individuals who help create a welcoming and inclusive environment for all. And I just want to say, kindness matters. Service matters. Community matters. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ms. Mayor.
So moving on to commissioner comments and committee reports. Thank you so much. Commissioner Nimzek.
No comment.
Commissioner Panera.
Yes, I'm not the first one to bring this up. We still have problems with our sound and communication with the community. And I don't know if we need to, maybe something's not correct that we paid for. I don't know. Have you thought about finding another consultant to evaluate what's going on, sir?
I have, I took notes already from the meeting today.
Yeah, it's just, other entities don't seem to have the same problem we have, and I'm not a technical person, but after we've suffered for has it been over a year?
Oh, it's been many years, not just 1 year.
We need someone else maybe to take a look and help us out.
I can potentially speak to that a little bit. I've been in Mr. Darrow's office so many times, I think he's thinking about trespassing me. And so through those many meetings, I put together a table. I shared it on Facebook. I'll share it again since we're discussing it. Not to hijack your comment, sir.
No, not. Any support.
But passionate about this topic, hence my constant interruptions. I identified 4 problems. One of them was Cox had visibility but no audio. My understanding, Mr. Darrow, is as of today that is fixed. So that's taken care of. One of the other issues was microphone proximity. The problem was that microphones are not picking up audio from the speakers if they are not speaking closely and directly into the microphone. IT and city leadership continue to remind commissioners and attendees to speak close, and it is also my understanding that lapel microphones are now being purchased for the usage of us 5, so that should no longer be an issue once they are received, programmed, etc. Issue number 3 is audio clarity. Audio volumes are low across the board and hard to hear. I did request that IT look into the ability to manually turn up that audio across the board, which is probably why at the last meeting suddenly the microphones were really sensitive and loud, although it was noted on the receiving end from our remote viewers there was potentially still that issue. I understand that is continuing to be looked into. And then the last piece is live stream sustainability. Boxcast and YouTube have been stable, but Facebook live stream is experiencing latency. Sometimes it causes it to lag or end early. Facebook itself, it's an independent issue. It will simply cut your live stream if it detects a delay or poor connectivity. It's unique to Facebook. We are doing more research to understand how to support a clean and stable connection, but Boxcast and YouTube are an option. But yes, audio clarity is the most consistent issue that we are having, but I did want to acknowledge it as it's an onion of problems. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Well, the one thing, I thought perhaps someone was actually turning down my audio for some reason. I can't imagine why. Just joke. It's a joke. Anyway, I don't often listen to these meetings, but I noticed that that the audio on this mic is not really very good. And I kind of get told that I'm not speaking into the mic, but I am. So anyway, my thought is, maybe these things are being solved. I've heard different issues, and I don't know if we need to do more, but I think we've really been struggling.
I agree. I'm interested to see, especially what these lapel microphones do for us. So
Commissioner Landis.
I had the pleasure of speaking at the Memorial Day ceremony at the Opera House. That was very lightly attended. I guess I didn't hear the speaker, but
I was there.
I appreciate that.
You did a really nice job.
Well, thank you.
Can you say that into the
I
microphone,
haven't
sir?
been there every year, but I would recommend people try to go and support when you can. I think it's a good thing for our town, being in the military community. I think it's important that we show up, especially that day. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Jaskowitz.
Couple things, folks. First of all, I would like to thank our Public Works and our Parks and Rec department. J.C. Proud did a cleanup this weekend, and Parks and Recs lent us the wagon, so we had supplies so we could clean up Grant Avenue and 18th Street. Had a decent amount of trash collected. Very much appreciate that support. And again, thank you to Public Works. Had a citizen that ran into a disconnect issue, and we got their water turned back on. And when you got kids in the house, that's awesome. So thank you so much for that. Miss Mary already spoke about her upcoming event. So I will remind everybody, Brigade Baseball, it is a shining point in our community. 'Tis the season. It's real cheap to get in. They got hot dogs. They got adult beverages if you're into that. Sometimes they have fireworks. I highly recommend attending. No pun intended, but I always have a ball when I go. Last thing, I want to mention chickens. Last time it was discussed in a meeting, the expectation was set that staff would continue to do more research and they would bring it back, even though I would be pursuing a petition. So I would like to amend that expectation. It's clear I will be pursuing the petition route. There is no need for staff to continue that research since I am pursuing that petition as a citizen. Now that petition process has not been started yet. I am working on continuing contact with Mr. Stite's office to facilitate that petition because it is done through his office. As I understand it, is an ordinance within the city limits rather than the election office. So more to come on that. Stay tuned. That's all I've got.
Actually, can
Yeah.
I clarify that? I did speak with Ms. Edwards and Ms. Gilbert, the county clerk and the county councilor. Since the commission has not said they wanted to act upon that with a vote, my office won't be able to help facilitate that because if there's an issue with that, the city may challenge it.
Yes, I am doing this as a citizen.
I know, and so any review is done by the county attorney or the county councilor, not by my office.
Okay, because I was referred to you by the county.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah,
I
and-
think that was in
we-
there.
Yeah,
And
and that's a part of the conversation that was then clarified with the county clerk and the county councilor.
well, I did not receive that clarification
I'm sorry.
through multiple phone calls.
But-
So
Is that something that we can vote on to put it on the ballot, or it has to go
Yes,
through a petition?
yes.
I say we do that.
I think, I kind of thought you jumped ship a little quick on that because I thought
Well,
at least one.
we weren't able to reach consensus of legalizing it.
That there was a possibility, and now we have, I think.
If you're open.
I'm open to letting people vote for it.
Excellent.
I'm not in favor of chickens, but I'm open to people having
Giving
their
them
say.
the choice. Cool. Mr. Stites, I will request that you research on behalf of the commission now, forming a consensus to understand our ability to put it on the ballot.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. That's all I've got.
All right, thank you. I made Destination Boot Camp. I missed City Commission last time, and we brought 11 businesses out there. It was a phenomenal opportunity for us, and John Shallot will be coming to our community in 60 to 90 days to follow up with those 11 businesses. I'd like to thank Network Kansas, who invested about $25,000 for us to go out to this wonderful educational opportunity. The recreational economy for rural communities was a day and a half. What a tremendous turnout from the community, from our city. I'm very, very grateful. We had about 100 on Wednesday night. We had about 55 or so on Thursday, and now we'll wait and see what the outcome is from that. So thank you for all those who are part of that, setting it up, donating bikes, being on the tour, giving part of the tour, and being present, and so on and so forth. Phenomenal. The Mud Bog is coming up this Saturday, 11, I think the gates open at 11, and the event is 1 to 8, so come on out to the Mud Bog. And thank yous. I just want to thank the community again. I think we have, I think the city, just a lot of amazing people. So, all right, Mr. Zimmerman?
Nothing for me, Mayor.
Mr. Panera? Oh, shoot, doggone it. I'm sorry, Mr. Stites, I'm sorry. Twice, I know that. I know, Mr. Stites, I owe you a pizza or something, I don't know.
I used to be the city attorney.
That's what it is.
Only once per lifetime, and you were never during my lifetime.
I'm so sorry.
I have, that's 2 strikes.
I know.
It's brigade season.
I know.
Nothing further from me.
Thank you so much. Mr. Wilcox.
One thing I wanted you guys to keep in mind that we have to let the county know by July 20th if we're going to exceed R&R. With that being said, our next budget meeting is July 7th. And I'll be real honest with you, we're not going to get through much on July 7th. We have 2 departments left. It's going to be me and Public Works. Public Works is probably going to take the whole hour. I'm not just being honest. So we probably need to look at having another budget hearing either later not budget hearing, budget meeting, either later that week or the following week before the 20th.
Do we decide that tonight while we're all here?
You can think about it. Think about it and come back next meeting. But I'm just letting you know the deadlines, and I'm just being honest. There's still so much to cover, and we only have one more meeting, and we're not going to get it done.
So can you reiterate that one more time, the timeline for that, sir?
Yeah, so we have to let the county know by July 20th.
And we have to let them know if we're going
If
to
we're
be.
going to exceed R&R.
Understood.
So you're going to lead the way in getting all of us together for another budget?
Yes.
We don't want to start early while we're all here on the same night. I know it's
And-
so hard.
We want to exceed R&R, for sure.
Well, that's a start. But you don't even know what R&R is, so how are you going to make that motion before you even know what the numbers are?
Yeah, what is the timeline to understand what it is to know if we will
Well, they have to
exceed
have us the evaluations by the 15th
of June?
of June.
Okay,
So next meeting you would know.
okay, understood. So do you feel we will only need one more meeting, or do we need to anticipate 2?
I mean, if it's not on a commission day, I would say just one more, because we can stay here until we get it done. I will stare at you until you say, okay, we agree, but I wish we would have done it differently, not picked commission days, because it's hard to jam-pack stuff in an hour, so we're learning pains, but
Yeah.
I'd say pick a day that's not a commission day and come in normal time, 6, 7, and then just
All at
crank
the
it out.
same time.
What, all at what at the same time?
Come in.
Like all of it? Yeah, we have
Yeah.
to form quorum like we are now.
Yeah, it would just be a budget workshop on a non-commission day. And it's gonna probably be 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
Bring your energy drinks and ibuprofen. Okay. Candidly, Tuesdays will continue to be the most opportune time for me. So I'm just going to put that out into the air. Thank you, Mr. Wilcox.
All right, thank you. Miss Megan? Mr. Farrow? Farrow?
It's been a long night,
It's all
Miss
good.
Madam Mayor.
So-
It's okay.
So we did spend, to answer your question, we did spend about 3 hours over here this afternoon, or about 11 o'clock to about 2:30, working on, and we got the audio on Cox Channel 3 to go out. So we did fix that issue. We are continuing to work. Today, in canceling the one meeting and opening the next meeting, for some reason, there was some disconnect to where the audio didn't come through when we started the meeting. I was able to reboot something, kill that old connection and reestablish it. So it did end up getting audio back. So we are working on it with the vendor. We have to work with the Boxcast on the Facebook side. That's the biggest thing from the broadcast side now is Facebook. Here in the room, when we switch inputs and change screens and everything, it goes instantly. Cox Channel 3, it goes instantly. But the Boxcast broadcast for Facebook, it does not. And then Facebook, after like 30 seconds of not seeing an input, they kill the feed. So that's a Facebook thing, and we're working with them to try to figure out how we get around that. We had a similar setup like this when I was in Manhattan. We didn't have that problem, so I'm not sure exactly why. The only difference is that we have a newer version of that Boxcast device because they don't make that old version anymore. So don't know if it's that device that's physically causing it or not, but that's what we're troubleshooting now. But everything else, audio-wise, we should have resolved. Channel 3 was working today when I went out to the lobby there and listened. So it is working now.
Thank you. Chief Linkus? Mr. Ibera? Mr. Strattengast? Mr. Gray? Ms. Picking? Chief Nichols? Assistant Chief Odell?
Nothing tonight.
Mr. Wilson? Ms. O'Shea?
I'm sorry, I'll be really quick. This month, we're going to be starting a new program called Yard of the Month. I don't know if, Chris, if you wanted to come up and chat with me, if you want to share anything, or I don't know, I don't care. All right, perfect. So this is going to be a program where 4 homes in Junction City can be voted on by the public for the best yard each month. So Junction City is going to be separated into 4 different quadrants, and then we've built a form, and it's going live on our website tomorrow, as well as our socials. So we're going to be running this until October. So we partnered with a few businesses in the area, and each winner will receive a $100 gift card. So each month we'll have 4 winners, and I have some flyers that I can hand out, and I'll leave some at the front. If you want a few, you can grab a few. Thanks.
That is awesome. Very exciting. All right. Nothing further. Is there a motion to adjourn? Is there a second? Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, respond by
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you for your